Check 1 2 1 2. Been through hell and back, but I'm about to clap back. They gon' be like, who that? I'm back. Loyalty flows through my veins. Greater receive that's within me, man.
Might get knocked down, but it's on when I get up. What's up?
I'm made for more.
And you know it.
I'm made for more. I'm made for more.
And you know it.
I'm made for more.
I was born on purpose, for a purpose, and with the purpose. Let me say that again. I was born on purpose, for a purpose, and with the purpose. Show me a person who has never made a mistake, and I'll show you someone who has never achieved much. My mistakes, they don't define me, but they align me. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, it says, I am a masterpiece. I am poetry, and I've been made for good works. The masterpiece takes time, but the end result, you already know what it is. It's priceless. My anxiety, it doesn't define me. I'm more than that. My depression, it doesn't rule me. I'm more than that. My divorce, it doesn't deter me from being loved again. I am more than that. You heard that. You said it from your chest right there. What didn't break me, you already know it made me. I was created for more. I will produce. You gotta say it from your chest. I will produce. I will make history. I will not lose.
We are back. You already know what it is. You are here, Made for More, the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, follow.
All
What else?
that.
What other
All
word can we use?
I don't know,
Okay,
we
that's
hear
it.
'em
Yeah.
But we're here. You know, y'all been locking in with us. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for going on this journey of being created for more. Ephesians 2:10 talks about that we are his workmanship, his poetry, masterpiece. It's a lot of good things coming. I would tell y'all some of the things that we got coming down the pipeline.
Don't do it.
Nah.
Why we can't keep nothing?
I bet.
Oh.
Yo, Zay be wanting to show the real.
I'll be so
Always.
itching, bro. Like, I'll be wanting to tell everybody
like-
this is what's happening.
That's how I feel about Christmas and fall, man. So I feel you though. I got it.
Can we talk about this
Yeah.
Oh, God,
really
here we
quick?
go.
And then
Wait,
we'll
I
introduce
already know
our
where
guest.
you're going with this.
Yeah,
But just real quick, I just want to thank Warplan Studios for everything that they do.
Oh,
clap it up for
man.
Warplan.
Facts.
Clap it up
I'm
for
telling
Warplan.
y'all go follow them. They're the best people to work with. I just had to
Beast.
throw that out really quickly.
No, throw it out. It's great. It's great.
Beast.
They make all of this happen.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Period.
they've partnered with us. They support us. Great group of people to work with.
Warplan, you are
Oh.
the best.
Yeah, love y'all. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, because I already know where you was going
Thank
with
you
this,
to our
but-
sponsors. No, I'm just.
By faith.
family.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna introduce our guest.
Yeah.
But I am not from Texas. Okay, I am from St. Louis, Missouri, born, raised. Show me state, Nelly, hiding her. You hear that? Her. We
Okay.
really talk like that.
Like legit.
But I'm trying to figure out on my Instagram feed, I've been seeing all these posts about fall is coming. Fall is coming. I was FaceTiming a homeboy. We was talking like in St. Louis. He was like, bro, it's 66 degrees.
Right.
Okay, fall is there. Somebody else is fall in different places.
Right.
But Dallas,
Falling here.
we don't get fall here.
You know, like we're in it right now, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, because you know what I'm saying? Like it's here, but it ain't like here like it is
You're
there.
not gonna see that maybe until what?
Because it's
I
95 still.
mean-
January, maybe.
But it just gets straight cold though.
Yeah.
It's 95. Right.
It's like when black people say, "I'm leaving the house."
You
And they
ain't
ain't
leaving for
left.
another 2 minutes.
They ain't even got out the bed yet.
It's not happening.
I'm 5 minutes away.
I got hoodies. I got, but it's
and
not
we still
happening.
wear them. I wear them.
I can't hold y'all. I got the hoodie on because we in an air condition right now. We in the sun. Okay, but anyway,
That's
we
really
have an
been bothering him.
amazing podcast today. This is gonna be a real one.
This is.
This is gonna be a
gonna be
real one. All the other ones, you know, we're very transparent, we're very authentic, we're very vulnerable. There's value information, but this is gonna be a great conversation. We have a friend, a brother, Joshua Booker,
Oh.
Joshua Blocker.
Get it right.
Do people do that a lot or no?
Yeah.
Well, you
Okay,
know what?
I've-
You know what my mind is because I cheated. I knew the first name, but I'm glad I didn't say Booger.
I'm glad you
Oh.
said boogie.
Because you don't understand the way my mind works.
Oh.
I was like, don't say it.
Joshua
don't say it. It's like
Booger.
Homer. It's like Homer Simpson when you're like,
Booger.
don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Do you say it anyway? You're like, oh.
Stop picking on him.
No, but
Booger.
listen, this is who he is. He's a he's a actor. He's a
Yes.
screenwriter. He has a book out. Like he's a phenomenal
books.
gift to the multiple books. And we
Talk
don't-
me up. Talk me
Get
up.
it right.
Talk me up.
Multiple books.
Talk me up.
He got an
Google him.
agent.
No.
He got things you got to go through to get to him. So we're
I
glad
had
to
to call
have
his
him.
people
If
to get him a-
Right.
Oh, see.
Cause that's how he set up. you know?
Right.
Yeah. I
Hey,
get
clap it up. We happy to have you here, bro.
Welcome,
Happy to have
man.
you.
I'm glad to
Yes.
be here.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
And our
yes.
first guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our
yes.
first
Yes.
guest.
For sure.
We're making
Yeah.
history.
It's
I'm
a
with
good
it.
time. It's a
So,
good time.
Josh, welcome. So glad to have you here. We about to just get right to it.
We about
We're
to
gonna
get into
jump
You on the
right
couch, man.
I'm on the couch.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the couch.
it. I want to say this, and then I'm gonna let you take it.
Okay.
I want to get right to it. So there was a post here,
Oh Lord.
and it says, "This is a quote from your therapist."
Oh.
This quote says, "I'm glad you're still here. You're here, Josh. Congratulations." And you said, "Nobody really knows how hard it's been to just still be here."
Woo.
I
Wow.
know. Let me.
And so we want to really, I want you guys to lean in. Those of you who are in the in between, we're having a conversation. You guys are just involved in this. We want to bring you to those entrepreneurs, those people that's endeavored to do great things, and you're in this season of being made for more, for greater. We want to talk about that space in between today, where really a lot of people don't really talk about. You said people don't know what it's like to just still be here, man. I need you to talk
still
about that.
Be here.
Yeah.
All right. So get your tissues, cause let's go.
We just going
I'm
in.
29.
Okay.
29 of those years of my life have been trauma.
Mm.
So this predates me. So I was born to a lie. So make a long story short, my mom lied to me for 25 years about who my dad was.
Mm.
Okay.
I always knew, but it's like I see other kids and how they interact with their dads.
Yeah.
I don't have this with the man that you keep telling me is my father.
Mm.
And you keep telling me I'm mean because we don't have that connection.
Mhm.
I remember being 5 years old and I was at my big mama's house.
Mhm.
And I got in the car. Mama came to get me, and I said, "Hey, Mama, is that my real dad?" And she stopped me from going to my big mama's house for a while because she
Wow.
thought they said something to me.
Mhm.
So I was born into that. I was molested from ages 5 to 13
Whoa.
by cousins
Mm.
who were a part of his family, who really aren't my family by blood.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Sheesh.
I was the short one. I was bullied because I wasn't confrontational. I'm delivered now.
So you
Don't
said you're
try me.
confrontational.
Oh,
now.
I'll
Try
fight now.
Jesus.
He said, "Don't
Oh,
try
I'll
me
fight
now."
I found your voice. So come on.
Right. I was short. I was misunderstood. I was always called gay because I didn't want to hang with boys.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of anybody asking me why, it
Ooh.
was
Mm.
Yep.
Mm.
so I hung around women, which makes more sense to me.
Mhm.
It makes more sense to me.
Right.
Yeah.
But I hung around women because all of my abuse came from men.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So, gone through that. I remember I got baptized in 2003, and I was still being molested at the time. I got baptized. This is really sad. And I said a prayer. I said, Lord, when I go down in this water, I want to come up, and I don't want to ever have to deal with this ever again.
Mm-hmm.
The very next night, it happened again.
Wow.
I was devastated.
Mm.
So then you grow up with all of
Mm.
this, this guilt and shame because you can't say as a man, I've been through this for that long without it being your fault.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
So then you go in this hiding and you learn suppression early. You learn how to keep everything locked in until you angry and you
Yeah.
explode on everybody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then you're the crazy one,
Right.
leave him alone.
Yeah.
You
Don't,
gonna
you
fly
know.
off the yeah.
Yeah.
So trauma started for me early because I was introduced and I was robbed of my childhood. I've been hearing, "Oh, you're strong," all of my life. That's not a compliment for me because I had to be strong when I shouldn't have to be. A 5-year-old shouldn't have to endure that
Yeah.
and be patted on the back for being strong.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have had to be strong.
Sure.
Um, I felt most of my life invisible.
Wow.
That all right. Well, we just gonna jump into it.
Yeah.
My mom admitted that she walked in on it happening one time and didn't know what to do, so she left out of the room.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is feeling like you're not seen by the people that should actually see you. Yeah. So when I say when my therapist said that to me recently, that congratulations, I'm glad you're still here, and I said,
Wow.
some people don't know how hard it is to still be here because all of that, at some point, multiple times, you want to give up.
Yeah.
Facts.
You want to give up.
Yeah.
Especially 2011 when my oldest brother died. It was my freshman year of college. I get a call November 5th. My uncle says, "Hey, I think you need to sit down." And I'm like, "Sit down for what?" I'm in a play. I'm doing Raggedy Ann and Andy at the college right now. I'm like, it's tech weekend. Let's go.
Right. Right.
His voice is deep, and I'm like, "Uncle Nathan, what's wrong?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, James had a motorcycle accident. He didn't make it. Make it where?
Right.
He didn't make it to the hospital in time. Y'all on the
Right.
way?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, he died."
Oh.
To tell me that the father figure that I had, the man that taught me how to drive, taught me how to tie a tie, taught me how not to put too much blue magic in my head.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah. My person,
That man you could trust.
the one I could
Right.
trust, the
Wow.
one who always saw me,
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh man.
he's gone
Oof.
suddenly.
Mm.
I wanted to commit suicide then.
Mm.
But I have a little brother, Junie, that I said, I can't put him through this. So then I started living my life for other people.
People. Yeah.
So I'm staying alive because I want to make sure you're okay.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's a life of not really being concerned about myself.
Yeah.
It's, no, I'm responsible. I don't want to make them feel what I feel. So I'm
Yeah.
going to stay alive.
Wow.
Suffering.
Yeah.
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 Have no motivation for life at all.
Yeah.
So my little brother kept me alive. It was so bad. I got pictures of us blown up and put it on my room on the wall in my college room. Because if I didn't see him,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's
And so you again you guys can chime. It is one of those things. If you're listening, this is a person who you see now who's at, I wouldn't say the peak of their career, but they're there.
Yeah.
They've done the things
A
they
lot of
wanted to do.
accomplishments, yeah.
So many accomplishments. But this is the backstory,
yeah.
Yeah.
right? Backstory, some now story, right? Of you might be watching, you may be listening, and you may be able to identify to some degree, right? A lot of these roads potentially can to lead to a word that you hear heavily in our culture now is depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, listen.
Wow.
Depression helped me write my first book.
Mhm.
Literally.
Whoa. You got to repeat that.
Depression
you
helped
said
me
helped.
write my first book.
Phew, that's
Wow.
powerful.
Yeah.
At large, I want us all to stop looking at depression as if it's some demonic, sinful thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The Bible says all things work together for your good. Either that's going to be true or it's not.
Mm.
Yeah.
So 2017,
Mm-hmm.
I found out in a room full of people that my mom was dishonest with me.
Mm.
To make matters worse, and I love my mom. Don't
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
my
of course.
mama.
Right.
Of
right.
course.
But this is just what happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I find out who my dad is, his name, in an email because my mom is upset with me. So she CC'd me on the email. She's emailing my sister because my sister is the peacemaker. She's trying to be
Okay.
like,
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
so she's like, well, if he's that upset, his father's name is ...
Mm.
I find my father, and he knew nothing about me. This man, if I showed you a picture, this man is my twin.
Mm.
Wow.
This man knew nothing about me.
Mm.
The last time he said he saw my mother, she was 2 months pregnant with me. Not I was 2 months old. She was 2 months pregnant.
Mm.
But then he heard it was somebody else's, so he just never
Sure.
investigated.
Mm.
So I find this out. I meet my dad, a very trusted person I go to talk to, and I say, hey, I met my dad, or I found my dad. He wants to meet me.
Mm.
He says to me, I wish you never found out.
Mm.
What?
He said that, but I heard something else. What I heard was, dang, now that you know the truth, we can't control and manipulate you anymore.
Mm.
Whoa.
Mhm.
Ignorance is not bliss at all.
Mm.
Ignorance is a weapon
Mm.
against you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
As long as you don't know,
Yeah.
you can be manipulated
For sure.
Right.
and controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he says, well, what if you meet this man and he says your mother is a 304? I'm being nice.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, what about me? Nobody has at any point
Yeah.
asked me
Still.
about me.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
Right.
It's about covering her
Sure.
Right.
because
right.
she's a pastor and
Uh-huh.
you know all this.
I understand.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, I need to meet my dad so I know where I come from.
Mm.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. So he says to me, if you meet this man, it's going to be like you're betraying your mom and your sister.
Wow.
So still, you're living still
For
for
other people. Yeah.
For other people.
So I make a choice. I make a decision. I'm going to meet my dad anyway.
Mhm.
Good.
I meet my dad. We have the best relationship to this day. I meet my dad, and the family that I've known all my life decided to turn their back on me. I mean, stop talking to me. I'm not welcome. I'm not getting called to Sunday dinners no more.
Mm.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was my first bout, my second bout with depression. So the first depression was 2011 when I lost my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Gained almost 80 pounds. I've always been like 133. I was almost 200 pounds because
Wow.
I hated crying. So to avoid crying, it was either sex or eat.
Yeah.
Mm.
Facts.
So I gained a lot of weight. Fast forward to 2017, I'm dealing with depression again. So this time, I pull out my computer and I write a play called Sins of a Mother.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about sins of a father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
yeah,
talk
for
about
sure.
mama wounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, you
Mm.
saying a lot.
Let's
You are
talk. Let's
saying
talk
a
about the
lot.
damage your mama gets away with because, oh, that's
Mhm.
your mama. You only get one.
So good.
Well, you only get one of me too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I write because I'm a man of understanding. I have to have an answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So because nobody was giving me one, I'm going to create it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
So I wrote a play to answer my questions.
And you get to choose the ending you want.
So I thought.
Mhm.
Um, I'm driving down the highway. This is how my creativity works. And I begin to hear the end of the play.
Wow.
And it's a funeral.
Mm.
Whoa.
And now I'm like, whoa, a funeral? I'm dying?
Right. Who died?
Sheesh.
Like, who died?
Yeah.
It's me.
Oh.
I'm supposed to die because of this.
Mm.
And that's when I learned it was bigger than me. So the play was never going to come out. The play was never going to, I was never going to, I just wrote it to get answers for myself.
Get that.
I messed up and let my best friend read it. She's a Virgo. She does all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
And she says, Josh, this is a book.
Got
She
it.
says, I'm very interested in these characters.
Right.
And I was like, okay, girl, that's cute. But I write plays. and
Yeah.
you be blessed.
Yeah.
And so every day she was like, so when is my book coming? And I was like, Simone, I'm not writing this book.
Yeah.
I don't write books. So then women,
Right.
say, okay, I'm going to try. July of 2018, I was on a family vacation in Florida. I wrote the first 3 paragraphs of the first chapter, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this.
Mm.
This is something I cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
It was too heavy. The first chapter of my book is called Mother Wounds. Too heavy.
Wow. You started
It's
off the
triggering.
Yeah.
It is like,
Yes,
because I
Yeah.
jump in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not a tell-all book. It's not
Mhm.
even it's a fiction.
Yeah.
So these are characters I created.
Yeah.
But this is a story that I'm telling.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. Well,
Mm.
I get on a plane coming from a wedding, and I write my first book in a month, 21 chapters.
Mm.
Never wrote a book ever in my life.
Yeah.
21 chapters in a month. And it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so it releases. Of course, mama is mad about it. And I'm like, read it.
Yeah.
It takes over. And I'm
Mm.
just like, depression did this.
Sheesh.
My need, my being alone, I would go outside, laugh with my friends, come home and cry myself to sleep because I had nobody.
Wow, man.
Wow.
So I had to create an answer for myself. Wrote the play, wrote the book. It's out now. Now people are coming to me like, yo, this story resonates with me.
Mm.
This story helped me forgive my mom.
Mm.
How could a story
Wow.
written from the pain my mother caused me
Mm.
make you forgive yours?
And at the
Mm.
time, here's my question. At the time, had you reconciled?
No.
Wow.
My I moved back to Dallas in 2016. Every year I was born January 14th. Every year on my birthday I cried
Mm.
because me and my mom were not in a good place. My mom sent me a HBD one year for my birthday.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Mm.
I'm talking years of getting birthday cards, phone calls, songs.
Right.
I get a HBD.
Mm.
I'm sitting in church and I get that. An
Sheesh.
HBD. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
So no, there was no reconciliation. But in the book there is.
Mm.
So I literally had to write what I
What
wanted
you
to
wanted
see.
to see. Yeah.
But spoiler alert, there is a death in there, and my actual suicide note is in the book.
Where your
Wait.
actual right.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
So
I was going to kill myself.
wow.
Wow.
And you put your suicide note in the book.
Mhm.
Wow.
I was going to kill myself.
Wow.
This is when I decided I was going to kill myself. One of my ex-girlfriends, Lord Jesus, she passed away,
Mm.
and she went to the same church that we went to. And I got to the funeral. My mother avoided me at the funeral.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Oh.
So I see my mom coming out carrying chairs. You my mama. I don't care how at odds we are.
Listen,
I'm not
right.
gonna live. You my mama.
Yeah.
So I get the chairs, and she goes on about her business. Afterwards, I'm staying around.
Yeah.
Say hey,
Right.
because I ain't seen it. I ain't seen nobody
course,
in a
of
while.
course.
For sure.
So I'm lingering around like, hey,
Mm.
my mom was coming through the center door. She saw me, made a turn to go somewhere else.
Mm.
I left and I cried my entire way home, and I said, God, if I have to live like this, you can just take me. I can't do this.
Wow.
Can't do this. I cannot live life without the people that I've known my entire life.
Yeah. Of course.
And can we just pause right there
Yeah.
and validate your emotions? And I'm hearing you have these conversations with yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like I went back to 2003, 2011, 2017,
17.
2018,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them hit me. But when you needed the most nurturing,
Mm.
which that's what mothers are, they're nurturers. When you needed that hug the most, the HBD is one thing, but when you lost your girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
in a state of, man, I'm mourning.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time I needed you to wrap your arms around me. And
Yeah.
in that moment, I felt you.
Mm-hmm.
Just hearing the story, I just want to validate you to say, hey, bro, had I been in your shoes, had I suffered what you suffered, I probably would not be here.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I consider myself to be a strong guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I look at my story and I know all the stuff I had to go through. And it's like, as I'm sitting here listening to you, I want to validate just your emotions to say, you're way more manlier than you could ever think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Even going back to when people said certain things like
Mm-hmm.
you're gay or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. You're more manlier than you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that you had to suffer and be strong. But at the same time, I want to validate the fact that, bro, I'm gaining strength from you right now.
Yeah.
And that's no cap.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You about to make me cry right now.
That's no cap,
But I
man.
appreciate that. I really appreciate that. But to your point, that's been the recurring theme, that my pain helps somebody else.
Jeez.
And I also want to just interject for a quick second. I think that I've been following you on social media probably since
For a while.
like 2016
Uh-huh.
ish, right? So we didn't have necessarily like personal relationship, but social media. And listening to that, and you're going through the timeline, and I'm like, I would have never guessed.
Mm-hmm.
You see the books,
Mm-hmm.
you see the accolades, you see the accomplishments, um, and that's all you see.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never guessed.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what made you at this point now be so vulnerable on social media? The post that Isaiah read earlier, you were being very transparent, and you have been as of lately. Was there something that triggered that to say, hey, let me be a little bit more vocal um, about the space that I'm in? What just kind of led you to be very transparent in the way that you are now?
It was the book.
Mm-hmm.
It was what the book did for people I didn't know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it validated my voice
Mm.
because I didn't think I had a voice.
Oh wow.
Sheesh.
So
I get that.
my publishing company is literally right to be heard,
Oh wow.
because I never
Right to
never
be heard. I
considered
love that.
myself to be one that had a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
People would come to me in the back rooms because I was smart,
Mm-hmm.
but I would never get acknowledged publicly.
Sheesh.
Wow.
Wow.
So I knew I had the goods. I didn't think I had the reach, or people would listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
After the book, it was like, oh, I don't know you. You in India?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never been to India.
Wow.
You know? So that it was that, and it was because the Lord checked me one day, because I was not going to release the book. Sins of a Mother, I was not going to release the book. I'm a month, weeks before my release date. I was going to cancel it because my family was doing too much. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you just, why would you do that about your mama?
Got it.
You know?
Right.
Friction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this wasn't my intention. This is not my motive.
Yeah.
And the Lord said to me, why did you write the book?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, to save lives. And he said, so leave me alone about how they're going to respond to it.
Save
It's
your
not for
face.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
Yeah.
not
Good.
for them.
Yeah.
So that's what prompted me to stop caring about who it's not for.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
good. That's really
Yeah.
good.
That's
Even
free.
when you released it though,
Mhm.
like what were your emotions? You heard God say this,
Mhm.
and you got it. You got the download, right?
Mhm.
But I just see your finger going like to press send.
Oh,
Right.
it was a fight.
Probably a trembling.
It was a
finger.
fight. It was
Yeah.
like,
Ooh, and it's
Here we
out
go.
there.
Yeah.
It's
Can't get it
gone.
back.
I
Yeah.
can't take it
Yeah.
back now.
Yeah.
Especially being a Christian. We've talked about this in private conversations about us feeling like we cannot be vulnerable. We
Yeah.
cannot tell the whole truth. We cannot show ourselves. And it's like,
Yeah.
for what? Like, but we don't feel the safe place to do that. We don't feel I don't know. It's just like we have to save face all the time. Like a Christian has to look like this And that's not.
That's not.
And where did we get it?
That's my
Right.
question.
The
Where did we
Bible
get
is
this
not
from?
even full of
Yeah,
that.
I think we.
But
we
we are.
make that up. We make that up.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, I'm listening again. You walked him through this timeline. I'm sitting here like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the break?
But wait, there's
I'm like,
more.
where's the break?
But so my question to you in that space, and trying to lead up to to there's more part. Your brother,
Mm-hmm.
which is the only man you can trust. You're not hanging with men.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you're gay. You just don't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
So you're hanging with women, which makes sense, right? We say that
Awesome.
makes sense,
Makes
right?
sense to me.
So your brother, whom was a father,
Mm-hmm.
literally your little big brother,
Mm-hmm.
all that you've
Mhm.
learned to be a man
Mm-hmm.
comes from him. He's gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend,
Gone.
Yeah.
Who nurtured you?
who nurtured you, who you got all the affection
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that should have came from a maternal
Mhm.
space,
Mm-hmm.
came through her.
And let me say this: these are people. The people that I've lost are people who never expected me to perform. They
Mhm.
only loved me because I was Josh.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be anything for them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We had broken up.
Yeah.
Got it.
She was still Team Josh.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Real love.
She loved me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So does that seem at what point in that window did you and God have a problem?
2011. I left God.
Mm.
When I when I say I left God,
Mm-hmm.
I left God. I remember.
And to those that don't know, when you say I left God,
Oh,
Yeah.
we was beefing. I was done with it all.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
That November 5th, 2011, my brother actually passed away like around 12 noon.
Okay.
I didn't find out until like 6 o'clock that night because everybody was like, who's going to call Josh?
Yeah.
Nobody could do that
Yeah.
because they knew how close we were.
Yeah.
My mom said,
Mm.
I wasn't going to tell you at all. I was just going to come pick you up and just,
Yeah.
tell you then. I flipped my mattress over, like it's gone around the room. I cussed my uncle out, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, God, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of this not being fair.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Wow.
I said, now I'm gonna be very real.
Mhm.
I said, now I can name people who you could have took and should have took.
Mm-hmm.
But my brother was a good dude.
Yeah.
I got
And
you.
he wasn't
Yeah.
perfect, but he was a good dude.
I got you.
And you do this, he has a 5-year-old son. You do this right now?
You fighting right now.
Oh,
Arguing, yeah.
we was big beefing.
Mm.
So I said, yep, everything that I thought I said yes to, forget about it. I'm not gonna preach. I'm not gonna prophesy. I'm not gonna do nothing.
Wow.
So the kind of church I was raised up in, they taught us, well, if you sin, God won't speak to you.
Yep.
So I said, bet, say less. Every sin that God hated, let me go get in it. Let me go do it because I don't want to hear your voice. There's nothing you can say to me right now.
Wow.
So when I left, I left.
Mm-hmm.
But when I left, that's when I ran smack dab into who God really was.
Mm.
It frustrated me. I will never forget. I was in my U.S. history course
Wow.
taking a final exam, and I looked down at the question. I get revelation from everything, and I heard God, and I said out loud, the room is quiet. I said, "Stop talking to me,"
Whoa.
and everybody looking like you crazy.
Mm.
Whoa.
And I was like, stop. And I was like, I was frustrated because they told me if I sinned, you wouldn't talk to me. So why you on my line, bruh?
Sheesh.
It was then that I found out I was given a lie.
Mm.
I knew a God who was
Ooh.
nasty, petty,
Mhm.
evil,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Vindictive.
vindictive.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do it my way, hell.
Yeah.
That's
Come on.
it.
Come on.
Yeah.
I met the God who was a father who said, you're always going to be my kid. And even if we beefing right now, you can never get me to stop talking to you. You're my kid.
Yeah, I'm about to lose it right now. We
So-
literally just got done talking about
Really?
in our previous conversation, we were talking about sonship.
Mm.
And almost verbatim, what you said, he was saying in a space that, like a dark space, but him getting revelation of what that is. Like, I didn't leave you. I'm still there. You're still my son.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We can't earn that. It's nothing we can
Pause.
do. Mm-hmm. Y'all, you just messed me up, Josh.
You cannot earn what
You
we're talking
cannot
about.
earn.
No.
You will never
Qualify.
You will never qualify. You will never have enough money.
Nope.
You can never perform.
You can
No
never
Everything that
performance.
we just named, you can never do will only leave you in deficit.
Mm.
Oh my God.
He's at a space where he's saying, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm done.
And I'm
the
telling
Lord's
him
like,
to his
I'm not
face.
leaving. Like, I'm still here.
And he say, "No, with who?
Where we going?
But
With what?
I love what you said, and I can't remember exactly how you said it, but you said that's when you were introduced to who God really was.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think that is so powerful. But you were in a place where you could be introduced to who he was.
Because I came out of what I had been taught.
Exactly.
And now I'm faced with what it
Reality.
is.
Yeah.
Reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what it is
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
you always on my side and in my corner. And I couldn't shake you if I tried to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know? So then God would talk to me, and we beat for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, until you bring my brother back. The last conversation I had with my brother was October 10th, 3:30 p.m. I remember it. Every year I remember it. He said, when you coming home? I said, Thanksgiving. And he said, oh man, you're gonna miss me. I'm not gonna be there. But Christmas, it's me and you. His birthday was Christmas Day.
Okay.
He said, Christmas, it's me and you. So every time I would say, you owe me my Christmas. You owe me my Christmas.
Mm.
So yeah, that was the point that I was like, yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like I'm hearing the
go ahead.
modern day prodigal son.
Mm-hmm.
Because the prodigal son basically he's saying, hey, give me the portions of good that belongs to me, right? In essence, you're dead to me. You're dead to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hearing from you. Like you had this moment where you're dead to me.
You are dead to me.
And what did he do? He left the house and he joined himself with a citizen.
Yep.
And he wasted all of his substance on riotous living.
Yep. Me.
Like, bro, like, you know how we all feel like we have that prodigal moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh, you're like the prodigal son 2.0.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And just to hear you say, you got to lean back in. You got to go back. I know you got somewhere you're going, but you got to lean back in to the point where I was reintroduced
Yes.
to God.
That part.
What was that hello like?
It was scary. It was scary and it was triggering because, like I said, I've been taught all this time.
Right.
If you in sin, God ain't gonna speak to you. You can sit down in church. You can stop all that speaking in tongues. You can stop all that shouting.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Because God's not gonna speak to you.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So now that I'm hearing God still, I'm like, okay, I gotta be tripping. But the God I met was not nasty.
Yeah.
He wasn't. In fact, he was very understanding. He was very understanding. He didn't force me into a relationship with him.
Touched by the feelings of our infirmities. Come on, man.
He understood me.
Wow.
And for a person who has felt misunderstood their entire lives, to be understood by one who thought was punishing you
Because of people.
Because I took my brother's death personally.
Yeah.
I said, well, he died because I wasn't there.
Sheesh.
Had I been there, I would have been able to save him. And that reintroduction wasn't like the next day. Oh, okay, well, we back friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In a relationship.
That's what I was looking for.
Oh, it was a good 2 years
Mm.
before I even stepped into the church. And now the church I stepped back into was like a Methodist something,
Yeah.
and they gave me coffee cups and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, this is new.
Yeah.
And we was out of church in an hour. I was like, oh, this
Coming
is
from a place
new.
you couldn't
I
chew
like this
gum,
dog.
you couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't sit where you want to sit.
No.
Right.
Right.
You was
Usher
in
with
there
the
for
white
5 hours.
glove. here.
You in there 5
Right.
hours, got
Right.
an evening service, then you fellowship and
Yeah.
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 It was like, okay.
But what made you feel like after dealing with or experiencing so much life, like what made you feel like I can trust again? I know you said it was like a 2 year journey, but was it just the journey part in itself, or what got you to a place where you know what this is this is a trustworthy God, like I can trust again?
Mm.
It was it was it was really a conversation that I had with God. Um and he didn't judge me.
Mm-hmm.
And
She.
I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of not praying at all, I'm gonna wake up and say thank you.
Mm.
I'm gonna wake up and say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna go say thank you. And then it was literally a rebuilding.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I didn't have to go through the formalities
Mm-hmm.
because I come from old school apostolic
Mhm.
Pentecostal,
Mhm.
I picked it up.
confession service was Friday night. You had to I
Mhm.
slept with and
Yeah. Yeah.
I smoked this and
Oh,
I
wow.
drank. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was I was unlearning all of that.
Wow.
So I couldn't trust again until I unlearned
Wow.
what had been given me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Um it was up and down like a relationship. There were days,
Right.
especially though my brother was a cop.
Mhm.
And me and my brother would get into fights all the time because I would key into his house. God, I miss that man. I would key into his house, and he would be sleeping. He would wake up and be like, "Hey, can you iron my white shirt? Just help me out." And I'd be fussing. You can iron your own shirt. You got a wife out. You can iron your own
Yeah.
shirt. Well, I'm in college and I pull out a shirt, a white shirt, and just out of
Yeah.
habit.
Mm.
Yeah.
I look down, see an iron and a white shirt, and I lose it.
Of course.
Sheesh.
Wow.
I lose it.
Wow.
And it undoes
Yeah.
all of what
Almost
me and God just
started.
built.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Take
Because
it
you
back.
just hurt me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you remind me of this? Why would
Mhm.
you allow me to see this and feel this all over again?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's real.
It's very real.
That's
Real
real.
life.
Yeah.
I have a real relationship with God.
That's
I
real.
love
I
that.
And
have
it's yours.
and it's mine.
It's
Yeah.
I
yours.
love that.
And I stopped trying to prove my salvation to people. Oh, that's been the most liberating thing ever.
Talk.
I've stopped trying to prove how saved I am to you.
Talk.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You don't believe I'm saved? God bless you. We'll see each other on Judgment Day.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. Because what's inside
Yeah,
of them gonna
that's
keep them
right.
out the door.
Maybe.
Let me
Right.
go ahead. Go
Go
ahead. No,
ahead,
no,
go
you good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, the thing that
Like,
No,
that
it's good.
really
It's like no, you go.
I think we
Go,
all
go.
triggered,
Yeah.
man, like in a good way. You like,
Yeah.
when you said you didn't feel judged by God,
Mm-hmm.
I need you to lean in for the people. Like, what does that feel like, especially coming
Mhm.
from apostolic background,
Mhm.
where this
Mhm.
is what was taught, it was embedded, ingrained,
Mhm.
especially Pentecostal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I was Koji,
Yeah, me
so
too.
Oh, yeah.
it was ingrained in me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You know, I heard a helicopter go over my house. I thought that was the rapture.
Yeah. Everything was
Jesus was
scary.
coming back.
Scared.
When your
Lord
mom,
forgive me.
Hey, when your mom and they come home at the same time, you like,
Did I
oh,
miss
my mom
it?
at.
Was I left behind? Right? So help the people and help me understand, what did it feel like to truly not feel judged by God, and how did you know that you weren't judged by God?
It it was weird because I'm gonna be honest because I don't know any other way to be. I was very sexual as a kid,
Mhm.
and when I got saved for real around 16,
Mhm.
Okay.
and I had this habit I couldn't stop,
Mhm.
and I mean I would go in the bathroom and pray, Lord, please take take my horniness away. Just
Mhm.
don't let me get up no more, Lord.
Mhm.
Don't.
Mhm.
And from my heart, I was like really trying to follow what they were teaching me.
Mm.
Okay.
When I got here after my brother, the Lord said to me, Josh, you know you can tell me anything, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mm.
And what you say to me, there's nothing you can say to me
Mm.
that can make me change my mind about you.
Ooh.
Sheesh.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing you can bring me. There's nothing that you can confess to me that will make me love you any less
Yeah.
or make me change my mind. My mind about you is already settled.
Set. Yeah, come on.
It's already settled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, God would say things, and even recently, I was praying not too long ago, and the Lord was like, why are you always so formal with me? Why are you always so formal with me? Why?
Yeah.
Just talk to me as your friend today. I just want you,
Wow.
just
Yeah.
tell me how your day was. Those are the kinds of conversations I have with God now. And it's something that I can't even really articulate because it's annoying.
Yes.
There we go.
It's
Yep.
annoying.
There we go.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Let me ask you a question. Do you personally feel right now in this space in your life, would you say that you are healed from that journey you just took us through? Or would you say you are still being healed? Because you have some people that, especially church people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm fine, I'm good.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They writing books, they preach,
Ooh.
oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm straight. I'm straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But being healed is progression,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Some people confuse that. Miracles are right now. It happened. It's forever changed.
Right.
The Bible says they were healed as they went,
As they
As they went, yeah.
right? So would you say that I'm in a as I'm going, I'm being healed as I'm going,
Mm-hmm.
Great
or
question.
it's
Well,
over
I'm
with?
good.
it's both. I'm intentionally healing
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm being healed as I go.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
The first part of it is a decision.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Ooh.
decide. Whew. Now,
That's
you
it.
better get preacher, Josh. Now, you have to make a decision. Even when they brought the paralyzed man to Jesus, and Jesus said, "All right, take up your mat
Mm-hmm.
and walk." He would have stayed there unless he decided
Mm-hmm.
to get up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to decide
Yeah.
you want to get up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You have to be
So true.
intentional about
Mm-hmm.
being healed.
So true.
And then the healing as I go, because there's this thing called repression.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You
Sure.
you experience traumatic things and you
Mhm.
tuck them away in the back of
Yep.
Yep.
in the
Mhm.
crevices, and you don't remember them until
Yeah.
you're triggered.
Yep.
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 Some days I'm triggered and I'm like, "Oh, where'd that come from?
Yep.
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 So
Oh,
good.
that's something I need to be healed from."
So good.
So
So
Wow.
is that what started your journey in therapy? So how long have you been going
I've
to
been in
therapy?
therapy since March of 2000. What was last year? 2021.
Okay.
My therapy journey started. Um, I was teaching a minister's class on identity,
Mm.
Gotta
and
get
I
you.
and I had my students. I said, "Bring me if you were on a date, bring me a list of how you see yourself."
Mm.
One of the students said, "Well, I have two lists. I have this is how I see myself, and this is how God sees me." And I asked her, but I was really asking
Mhm.
me, "Well, why is it that you don't see yourself like God sees you?"
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Triggered
Mhm.
me,
Yes,
but I had
sir.
to keep face because I was
Right.
teaching.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So I finished that class, and I sat after that class and I said, "I need some help because I don't know me well enough to love me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I know what I can do.
Yeah.
I know the services and the roles I play and provide,
Mhm.
Yo.
but I don't know me."
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Because the love the love I've been exposed to all my life was a performative love.
Yep.
If you perform well,
Mhm.
you get.
Yep.
Praise.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I noticed with me, so I wrote 5 books in 1 year.
Mhm.
So 2019 was when I wrote my first book. I wrote 4 more books after that
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Mhm.
because it wasn't just good enough to write a whole book in a month. That wasn't nowhere.
Got
Anybody
it.
can write a book,
Got
is
it.
what I said.
Yep.
I have to do more because that's going to give me applause.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
So I did that.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I was like, this is because when I couldn't meet my goal that I set for that day,
Mhm.
I was absolutely horrible to myself.
Mm.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
I was not feeding myself. I was
Mhm.
no, you gonna starve until you get this. You
Yeah.
ain't going to sleep until you write this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I said,
Abuse.
yeah, it was abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I was doing it, I didn't call it abuse.
Right.
Had you tried to do it? Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
we'd
you
have had
recognize
problems.
Yes,
it.
sir. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
But me, and I said, this isn't healthy. And I said, I don't know myself. Jeremiah, when God said what God says to Jeremiah really triggered me.
Mm-hmm.
He says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you.
Right.
Which means there's a me
Mm.
that exists outside of what I do.
Yeah.
Talk.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole you are what you do, I don't subscribe to that.
Mhm.
Because if God says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you, and then I ordained you as a prophet, I gave you a service or a role to play after already knowing you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And all you would do, all you would,
Yes,
everything.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But I know you.
Yep.
And the you I know is, I'm settled on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I didn't know the me that God knew.
Mm.
So I went on a 3-day fast and I said, I need help. And then the commandment Jesus gives: love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
The issue is we try to love people,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't love ourselves.
Facts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what I was doing was I was loving you the way I wanted to be loved,
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
hoping you would pick up on it
Yep.
and
And
love
then
me
love
and
you
reciprocate
back.
that
Yeah.
back.
Yep.
Got it.
Disappointment,
Yep.
Got it.
heartbreak,
Yep.
Every
Yep.
time.
failure,
Yep.
anger,
Triggered
resentment,
again. Yep.
triggered again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now don't nobody love me.
Mm.
I'm good to people. I show up for everybody. You can't show. My birthday every year. Every year I have a kickback. I have a game night. Do a restaurant dinner, whatever. Blah blah blah. You don't have to do anything but show up. And you mean to tell me you can't show up for one day out of the year?
That's it.
Mm.
And I show up to. I'm driving across state lines buying plane tickets, and you mean to tell me you can't show up? Just show up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know me well enough. I would always lead with what I could do.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can write this, I can do this, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But to know who
Mm.
Josh is outside of that, I didn't know.
How well do you know Josh now?
I know that dude pretty
Come on.
good now,
Come on.
but I'm still learning him.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 I'm still learning him.
Yeah. Wow.
Still evolving.
I'm still evolving, and that's the thing. People will try to hold you in a prison of who you used to be.
Talk, man.
Of course.
Talk.
The Josh I
keep you
was
there.
yesterday, I'm not him today.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why would I let you hold me in a prison of who I was 2-3 years ago?
Come on. Yeah.
You don't know me.
No.
I think Prince said that. You don't know me.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. Where are you and your mom now? Relationally.
Whew. It's still not where I would want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For some people, it's easier to live with your offense
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
because it then justifies how you treat me.
Yes.
Yeah.
My grandmother just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So we were at the hospital, and my mom chose to create a beef with me. And I just had to come out and flat out tell her, I've apologized to you 3 years ago, even though I wasn't wrong. That's another God thing. I've told you time and time again, I don't have a problem with you. I'm not angry at you. I love you.
Yeah.
But this moment you choose
Mm.
to create beef with me, I said, it's not going to happen. If you
Mhm.
want to be offended with me, keep that. You never have to speak to me again. But what we're not going to do is while my grandmother is transitioning, we're not going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, because I love my mom, I think I blame doctrine. I blame doctrine.
Was just about to say that.
My mom was indoctrinated, and she holds fast to that because for her, that's a solid foundation.
I was just.
And there is baggage that my mom refused to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of unforgiveness. That's why my mom stays sick a lot. There's a lot of unforgiveness that my mom is harboring, that she's just not ready to tell the truth. So, for peace sake, we're cordial. I show up to her. I show up to birthday things. I'm always gonna be your son. I stopped expecting my mother from me though. I got ordained as a minister in 2020, and I went to tell them first. And the day before my ordination, my mom calls and says, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to come." Why? I just got to stand behind my leader. Now, my leader is my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
She says, he didn't like a Facebook post that you posted, so, we're not coming to your ordination. Now, you've been telling me all your life, you've been praying for me to be a minister and all this stuff. Now it's happening. You can't. And she said, I gotta stand behind leadership. And I said, "Mama, that's my uncle.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's my uncle. I know y'all outside of church.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We blood outside of church.
Yeah.
we
Right.
ribs
You
and
can't-
all that. Yeah.
You can't come support your son?"
Mm.
I had to get on the plane to Indianapolis the next day, and she texted, and I said, "Mom," I said, "what hurts me as your son is that had it been my funeral, you'd have been there with bells and whistles on.
Jesus.
But the moment to celebrate me while I'm alive, you chose not to be part of that.
Oh man.
And I am hurt by that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hurt for you.
Yeah.
So when I say it's nobody knows what it means to still be here, I have every right and the justification to be gone.
Jeez, man.
That's a lot for anybody. And that's not even half of it.
But
And
what
go ahead,
keeps
babe.
you going now? I know that your
Shit.
brother was, a motivation before, but
Mhm.
now you choosing to live. Where does that stem from?
This year I made a decision on my birthday this year. And I talked about this. I said, I'm no longer living for trauma. I'm going to live my life for me now.
Mm-hmm.
Because even turning 29, I was scared and I didn't know what it was. My oldest brother died at 28.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I automatically assumed that it was going to be over for me at 28 too.
Right.
So 29 was very scary for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let's just live for Josh now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I found out a trick. Whenever I would go through something, suicide would be the first thing to hit my brain. And I said, why do you want me dead so bad?
Right. Why is
And
that
I
the
said,
solution?
got it. So because you want me to die so bad, devil, just to piss you off, I'm going to stay alive.
I'm a rebel at heart.
Yeah,
Let's
Right,
go.
I'm going to stay alive.
Yeah.
Boo.
Right. Right.
Right.
And I'm here.
Right. And still here. And that's really what it was. I made a
Wow.
decision that my life must be a threat because you want me
Sheesh.
gone too bad.
Too bad.
You want me gone too bad. The smallest of thing, suicide across my, oh no, you want me gone too bad. So it must mean if I stay here, it has to be for something real good.
That's so good.
Man, I think it's one of those things that, as people listen to this, I can't imagine how many people are in this space
Yeah.
Right now.
right in this very conversation.
Right.
Like, whether it be with their mom,
Yeah.
whether it be with their dad,
Yeah.
whether it be with
Yeah.
their somebody in their family, somebody
Mm-hmm.
in their relationship, and it's almost as like it's literally one thing after another.
After another.
Yep.
Right.
Like, I've been in seasons in my life where I've asked, "Can I get a break?
Right.
Please.
When can I get a win?" You know what I'm saying? Like, when is something gonna break for me? And it's almost to the point where you feel like you can feel like God's mad at you.
Mhm.
Like, if you don't have that relationship with Him, or if it's blind faith, you just have what people have taught you.
Right.
You can literally feel like God has a problem with me. I am going to hell. I am just getting one blow after the other. And those are some of the people that I believe that God, and through this podcast, have called us to, people who are in that space, people who are in between, and people who are even at the height of their, but who are dealing with stuff. They say you only sick as your secret. A lot of times you're in church and they teach you to just be quiet.
Yep.
You pray about it,
Hide
turn
and lie.
around, high five
That's it.
somebody, and go home and weep,
'Cause
cry.
if you're honest about it, then you get judged.
Oh, that too.
Get judged for-
Come in front of the church. Tell everybody what
Right.
happened and all that. Man,
Now
sit
you
down.
put me upside my
Yeah.
head. Crazy.
Man, you know what? There's something, and I felt led to ask you this. Oprah always has this thing where she says, "Hey, if you could talk to your younger self, what would
Mhm.
you say?
Mhm.
But because it's made for more, and because I don't fit in, and I'm completely backwards. Um, what are you saying to your old self, and what would you say to the old man that's before you?
Whew.
And can I add this? And to your future self.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
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 that's what when I say old, I mean
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
75,
Uh-huh.
85,
yeah,
95. Your end. Like, what are
yeah.
you saying? I want you to speak to him right now.
That's good.
Forget we're here.
Okay. Um, what I'm saying to myself currently
Mhm.
is, but joy.
Mm.
That's literally written on on my bathroom mirror.
Mhm.
I'm promised a but.
Mm.
I'm promised a but. I just preached a sermon on Finding Nemo a couple Sundays ago, and there's a line in the movie that says, "I'm going to touch the but." It made me laugh at first, but then it hit me. But is a conjunction,
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah.
and it means what was before. What comes after it can't be the same as what was before it.
Right.
That's good.
I'm dedicated to seeing the other side of this.
Yeah.
That's so good, Josh.
Mm.
That's good.
I learned something on my grandmother's dying bed. Now this might make me cry for real. My grandmother died 12:10 a.m. July 26th this year. We had just left the hospital. I questioned God. I was like, why that?
Mhm.
And all I kept hearing was, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes
Mm.
in the morning. 10 minutes into the morning, my grandmother got a promise.
Mm.
She saw her promise.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm invested in that same kind of thing. I ain't trying to die to see it, but
No.
I
Yeah.
feel you. Yeah.
I'm committed to seeing that. What I'm saying to my old self, like future self,
Mhm.
is literally, remember when you wanted to give up? I have a section in
Mm.
my notes on my computer right now that's called Remember Wins.
Mm.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Remember when you only sold 10 books?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Mhm.
Remember when you only made
Ooh,
$48,000 a year?
Sheesh.
that's so good. Yeah.
So I'm making plans to go over all of that with my old self.
That's so good.
Sheesh.
Sometimes you have to remind yourself of the
Mhm.
journey. Have to
Mhm.
remind yourself of how God brought deliverance,
That's
how God
good.
has healed.
Yeah.
That is so good. I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
So I'm because I have a picture.
Yeah.
I have a
Mhm.
picture of the future.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what I'm doing now is I'm just putting the pieces together.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
But I have the vision, I have the picture in my head.
Wow.
And I just believe if God, if you showed me, it's mine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it is definitely I can't wait to laugh I know the kind of chair I want to just
Yeah.
sit back and laugh. Like, remember when you always almost
Yeah.
wanted to give up?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
So to answer your question, that conversation is remember when.
Sheesh.
That is so good.
Do you have a couple of things that you can share to say, some practical things that somebody, with what you walked through? How, what was some of those key spaces in your life? Was it therapy? Was it finding accountability to share with?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what were some things what are what are some things that you did
Practical.
and things you can communicate to people to say, hey, here's some key things,
So
two or
good.
three things to say, you know what, you need this, you
Mm-hmm.
need this,
Mm.
and you need this.
Mm-hmm. Definitely go to therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
You need someone, and I'm not talking about your pastor. God bless you,
Come on, make it
Say it.
plain.
but go
Make it
to a
plain.
licensed
Yeah.
Stop that mess.
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah. Pause.
Stop that
Seriously.
mess.
Pause. Therapy.
Because um everything shouldn't be spiritualized.
That's good.
I get that.
Your feelings are real,
They
Yes.
are.
Talk
Yes.
about
and your
it.
feelings are not spirits.
Mhm.
Your
Mm.
feelings are your feelings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And even Jesus himself
Yeah.
had bouts with his feelings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That whole Gethsemane piece,
Mhm.
oh,
It's real.
you want
Yeah.
you no longer motivated to do what you knew you're supposed to do. You know what we call that? Depression.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Being exceedingly sorrowful to the point of death. You know what we call that? Depression.
Mhm.
So it is talking to someone who can give you practical tools.
Mhm.
I found out that I was a hoarder of experiences.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm you come to my house, everything's in place. I can tell you where everything is. I'm OCD. Internally, I'm a hoarder of experiences, good, bad, and indifferent.
Yeah, you know dates, times.
I know dates,
Oh, yeah.
You know all
times,
of it.
who
Yeah.
did
I
it,
said, oh, wow.
Yeah.
how I felt.
Wow.
I had to learn how to let go of that.
Wow.
Wow.
Therapy helped me let go of that.
Right.
Because church, all we get in church is let go and let God.
That's it.
Well, teach me how to let go.
Ooh.
Come on.
I don't know how to let go.
Come on.
Yeah.
So you know what therapy had me do? Had me write on a piece of paper, molestation, trauma. Got a shredder.
Yeah.
Put that junk in a shredder.
Yeah.
Got some balloons in a helium tank. Put them shredded pieces in those balloons. Filled them balloons up, and I literally had to let it go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally had to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I threw myself a me party and everything
Yeah.
I love it.
That's big.
because I never celebrated myself.
It's so good.
Sheesh.
After every accomplishment, it was always okay. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I never took the time to say,
Oh man, you did. Yep.
Yeah.
and I waited for other people to do that, and it never came.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So go to therapy,
Mm-hmm.
learn practical things because the kind of preacher I am, I'm gonna mix biblical principle with real life practicality.
For sure.
That's the only way it makes sense for me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Get some solid friends,
Mm.
some people who will come when you call and just lay in the bed with you. Not on nothing
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, but just
Yeah.
when my grandmother died, my friends came and got in the bed with me, just like, no, we here.
Yep.
We ain't got to say nothing. We ain't been to tell you to stop
Yeah.
crying. Just we here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Having those people and understanding that your feelings are not against you. My therapist told me your feelings are messengers.
Yep.
Yes. Indicators.
They are indicators.
Yes.
They're just simply trying
That's
to
good.
point you
Yep.
to the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Point you to what you're, and the biggest one is forgiveness.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
As long as you're holding on to this, you can never receive anything else because you don't have room for it.
Right.
You have to let go. And forgiveness is about releasing people from the prison of your wrath. We have people in prisons internally
Sure. Yeah.
that they don't even know about.
Right.
And that's why God told me to go apologize to my mom and uncle.
Yep.
Even though I was right.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah.
He said you were so focused on being right that you became wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was like,
Yep.
excuse
That's a real
me.
thing.
That's
That
it.
is real.
And that's when I learned my
Yeah.
right needed God just as much as my wrong did.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Come on,
good.
Josh. That's
Yeah.
good.
So talk.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yes.
This week has been a low week for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Tuesday, I was like, okay, I'm ready to give up. And I said it. But I checked in with my therapist.
Yep.
I sent a text message to my friend
Yeah.
who I knew wouldn't tolerate that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I feel like giving up.
Yep.
So it's accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I'm so proud of myself because I used to shut down and just
Yep.
keep everything to myself.
Yeah.
I'm talking now.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So even when the truth is ugly,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
And what I had to say on Facebook the other day was, although I express my feelings, I don't trust my feelings enough to lead my life. So me saying I wanted to give up or I feel like giving up does not mean
Yeah.
I'm finna give up.
Yeah.
I love Josh.
Yeah.
And by now I've worked too hard to
Yeah.
get to where I
To
am.
this Josh.
To this
Yeah.
Josh. No, we about to rock this out.
I know that's right.
We finna rock this out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm talking now and I'm just like, although I express them, I don't trust my feelings enough to lead me because they change too often.
Yep.
And that's why how you doing and
Yeah.
how are you? I say I don't know
Yeah.
because it changed so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm learning. Grief is teaching me. I can put a period right there.
Yeah, you
Grief
can.
is
I love
teaching me.
that.
That's good.
And one last thing I'll say is we rush all the time to get out of something.
Talk.
I was asking God, I said, God, I've experienced death before. Why is this loss hurting me and doing me so in like it is? And he said, Josh, just go through it.
Jeez.
I'm discovering that I'm having to go through and feel the lowest of lows because he's teaching me the technologies of grief so I can combat it in the future.
Sure.
Not just for myself, but for other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
everybody wants to always come out. If
Mhm.
if I'm always coming out of something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what good am I? What
Yeah.
good am I to you who's going through it?
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
It
Yeah.
helps me see you.
Yep.
It helps me relate to you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It helps me stop saying those stupid things like "be strong" and they wouldn't want you to cry,
Right.
and
No.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
right,
Yeah. For
right.
sure.
No.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm learning how to go through.
Yeah.
I'm learning
Mm.
that process is not punishment.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
That's
brilliant.
awesome.
Well, bro, I think for me, and I think you guys can tap into. I think it's for me. It's been an honor hearing your story,
For sure.
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
I, you know, how you when people be like, on behalf of the world and everybody that hurt you, I'm sorry. That's not really. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what a voice though.
you know, pastors
Why
be
that
like,
voice?
Right.
on behalf of every pastor that's ever hurt your feelings, I just want to
Yeah.
apologize. And that's not really my thought. My heart is, bro, I celebrate you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Like, and that's
Yeah.
authentic. Like,
Thank you.
Seriously.
for every book, like bro, writing a book is not easy.
It's not.
Yeah.
Especially one of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not fiction or not, whatever you have you want. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You put out 5 of them joints. You're
Mhm.
an actor, you're a communicator, like
Yeah.
you've done amazing things in your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that you had solid people just
Yeah.
championing you.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm championing you based on what you just did today
The period.
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
couch.
I appreciate
You know what I'm
it.
saying?
Period.
Like
Yeah.
I wasn't there for all of that, so I
Yeah.
can't be like
Yeah.
on behalf. You know what I'm saying?
Let me give you back
Yeah.
pay.
But what I am saying is
Yeah.
the fact that you just did what you did here
Yep.
Yeah.
and you took people from A to Z and you gave people tools.
Yep.
And I think I'll go on record in saying this. I feel like the Lord, because for a lot of times, a lot of people, you almost feel like it's not fair,
Mhm.
Yes.
right? We've said that today a lot of times. It's not fair that
Yeah.
my life, I will be walking through this, but you're experiencing what I have not received yet,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But I feel like I'll go on record and saying this, that I feel like the Lord is going to pay you back, man.
Yeah.
Like in a beautiful way,
I
right?
receive that and I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this word called recompense.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
recompense is payment for all that you suffered,
Yep.
Mhm.
loss, and
Yep.
efforts you made.
Yeah.
So even the
Wow.
days you didn't make 100,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna pay you for your
Yeah.
efforts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he's going to reward all of us. In
Yeah.
Hebrews it talks about that he will never forget your labor of love.
Yeah.
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 How you have served his body
Yeah.
Yeah.
and taken care of his people. He
Yeah.
always remembers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think to say, Lord, use me, that's a scary phrase.
Yeah.
Because we
To
don't know
still
how
say
that.
yes.
Yeah.
he's still
Yeah.
saying
You
yes.
don't know how it's going to look, you know?
Mhm.
And can I share this
Of
one last
course,
thing?
Of course.
I keep saying one last thing. I'm a preacher.
In my clothes.
This
Yeah,
my-
you
my
on
third
my clothes.
close.
I love it.
Come on.
Yeah, we're here.
My grandmother. So, July 15th, my life stopped, and every day from July 15th to July 26th, I was at the hospital with my grandmother.
Mm.
July 17th, my grandmother hugged me for the last time, and she hugged me like she knew it was the last time.
Mhm.
I could feel it. They moved her into hospice the very next day.
Mhm.
Chaplain comes in, and they say, "So who wants to lead the prayer?" Everybody's looking at me because my mama's in the room, and she's like, "I don't want to do it." And everybody's like, "Josh gonna do it." And at that moment, I'm like, "Lord, I don't know what to say."
Mhm.
My grandmother sits up and she says, "Y'all ready?"
Mhm.
She said, "Lord, we thank you. We
Mm.
thank you for this day, and we thank you for life. We thank you for healing." She said, "By your stripes we are healed, and I know that no weapon formed against us shall prosper."
Yeah.
She went through this whole prayer. At the end of it, she said, "And Lord, whatever you have to say about it, I say yes."
Oh.
On her deathbed in hospice,
Mm.
she said, "Whatever you have to say about it, whether it's you gonna raise me up or whether you gonna bring me home with you."
Mm.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Mm. Mm.
So my grandmother taught me a lot on her deathbed
Mm.
that don't take back your yes. We used to say something back in the day. I'll add more to it before I take it back.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that did something for me that day.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you decide.
Whatever you say about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Cause she was
whatever
cool.
you said, but I don't know.
I don't listen because I was
You
like,
could be like, that's a strong yes.
that's a strong yes.
Ooh, but she was sure though.
She was sure.
Like when
She
you sure,
was.
Yeah.
even though you don't like what you know it's right. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was sure.
whatever
Yeah.
She was
decision you make.
sure.
Listen, brother, I don't even know what to do, but
Awesome, man.
Yeah, we really
well
appreciate
well
you.
done.
Awesome.
Jesus.
29,
Appreciate
man.
your
20,
vulnerability.
29. One last thing, and I'm for real. This is
29.
the Lord just reminded me of this. I want to say to you, those of you that are listening, depression only wins when you change your mind.
Mm.
Depression is a tool. It is
Mm.
not an enemy
Mm.
until the only way depression becomes an enemy is if you allow it to change your mind.
Mm.
As long as you remember, this is how you combat depression. You always remember what he said. Faith is not the crutch for us to run to when we don't want to deal with reality.
Facts.
Yeah.
Faith is always about what God said.
Yep.
Right.
So the way you keep your mind stable and you don't succumb to depression, because depression comes to change your mind and say, oh, you don't have anybody. You don't have anything else to live for.
Right.
Yeah.
But what did God say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
That's how you combat depression.
Mhm.
Cry, sit in the bed. There are days I don't get out of my bed. And you know
Yeah.
what? That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But depression has not won because I haven't changed my mind.
Sheesh.
I love it. This
And
has
God
been
is
so
always
good.
saying, that's why he says faith comes by hearing.
Yes.
And I lightly just pray that the frequency that you're tuning into when God speaks even gets louder.
That's good.
I pray that from this day forward, you hear him even more clearly.
Yes.
Like you thought you heard him before.
Mhm.
But I literally see like you hearing him on a different frequency. And that frequency is literally going to lead you into places that you're going to be like, oh, this is where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because there's a whistle that only dogs can hear, right?
Right.
Like that's something that I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a frequency like it's going to be beyond what's normal.
That's
See, our
good.
God is always progressing.
Mhm.
So whatever relationship we've had with him, it's not the greatest level of relationship we're supposed to have with him. So I think you're stepping into this space where you're going to hear the dog whistle.
That's good.
And that dog whistle is going to be like, no, you really have to be confident to know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I notice you. Because even my close ones, even my Peters,
Yeah.
you understand? Even my Peters are going to be like, don't do that. Even my wife, Job, is going to be like, curse God and die, right? And I feel like God is about to really enhance your hearing. And I just speak that God continues to give you the boldness to do what's uncomfortable and unconventional. Because as you do that, you're going to reach the untouched, the unchurched, the unloved. And man, I just see like us going back to this podcast,
Yeah.
saying we had him on our podcast.
That's right.
And we're going to, once you hit, we're going to play it again.
We going to play it again.
Run it back.
Run that back. Can you
Right.
share this?
Remember when? Remember when?
Remember when you was on our podcast?
Remember
Yeah.
But I
when?
mean, I think those are good reminders. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, and I was thinking about this when you was talking to him, but I was thinking about the people that are watching and those people that will listen to this. It's a lot of times just because you've gone and you've asked for prayer
Mhm.
to be delivered from depression,
Mm-hmm.
and because it has not happened,
Mhm.
that's not an indicator that God is not with you.
Yeah. Facts.
Mhm.
A lot of people are dealing with depression, and I'm saying that because I'm not one who've dealt with depression before. So sometimes, well, not before. It's tried to impose itself on me just because I'm my wiring. I don't. That's not really something. But I've been around people, and if it was at some points, it's like I used to be like, how do people get like how does that happen? And those are the questions you ask because you don't know. Like, how can you not want to get out of bed? Like, how you don't want to eat? Like, what is going on? But I've learned though, just by being around people and asking the right questions, not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you. There are certain things that you ask, but I'm impressed to put this on those who have gone up to the altar. I'm talking to my Christians, those that are not Christians. You won't understand this, but those who have gone to the altar,
So good.
ask for prayer. The preacher says, hey, if you've been depressed, if you're dealing with depression, whether you're clinically, whatever, come to the altar. I believe you're going to get healed tonight.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people who walk away and
Mhm.
still feel that feeling of heaviness and depression. Some people you get depressed and you go and you get prayed for and you feel relief for a moment.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That happens because you're in the moment on the altar. The spirit is high. Things are
Mhm.
happening, and you go back in that car ride home. Before you get home,
Yep.
is there again. Remember that is not the absence of God.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He is still with you. He is for you, and He gives us things and people and tools to implement
Mhm.
to help us on our journey. He gave us tools, therapy, accountability, writing, communicate.
Communicating,
All these things have in common is communicating.
Right.
The Bible says, confess your sin one to another
Mhm.
so you can be healed, whether it be sin, whether it be challenge, whether communication is one thing to talk to God about your stuff,
Yeah.
but it's another thing to sit down and talk to somebody else about it.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah.
a level of relief. Listen, I'm challenging all of those that you're in between. You're in this gap. You're
Yeah.
dealing with depression. You maybe have some form of anxiety. Maybe you're on medicine. I'm not telling you to throw that medicine in the trash.
Please
I'm
don't.
not telling you to do any of that.
Please.
What we are telling you and what we are admonishing you to do is to seek the Lord,
Yeah.
Mhm.
seek relationship,
Mhm.
Yeah.
seek therapy. All these tools will
Yes.
enable you to be successful
Mhm.
Yeah.
and win. Just like the prophet, he was under the tree.
Yep.
Mhm.
He was tired. He just laid there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The angel was like, "Get up and eat." He was like, "I'm not hungry.
I
Right.
don't want to eat.
I'm not trying
I'm
to.
don't
not
want none of that.
hungry.
Hey.
I don't want to eat." That's a real
It
thing.
is.
Get up and eat.
And then he came back and said, "You got to finish this food." And watch this, because what's ahead of you,
What's ahead of you?
No.
Yep.
Come on, man.
you
It's
got to do what you
long.
got to do now, because what's ahead of you
That's so
Mhm.
good.
is
honey.
so much greater
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
than what's behind you. Listen, man, this is another one. Made for more.
Made for
Thank you so
more.
much, man.
Man.
Thank you,
Love you,
thank
Josh.
you,
Love
thank
you
you.
so much.
You
Come on,
amazing,
Booger.
man.
Yeah,
Come
Booger.
on,
You got a
Booger
new-
T.
You got a new name
That's
now.
my
on,
new
His
name.
new
Booger.
nickname, Booger.
Booger.
Come on,
I
Booger.
love it.
Man, and that's all I got, man. Thank y'all for watching.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, share. Sweet
Yeah.
baby, you got it? I mean, sweet. I call it
Come on,
sweet
sweet baby.
Oh,
He's
God.
just
Sorry.
giving out nicknames today, huh?
I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
That is my name. I thought you wrapped it up.
I did.
mean,
We love y'all.
Yeah.
I'll tell them to send them letters, though. You know what I'm saying? They
Oh,
gotta make sure.
yeah.
oh yeah. So we got Through the Wire. So make sure you guys send us any of your challenges that you want to discuss. So Through the Wire, Josh, if you may not be familiar, but similar to your story, us talking through the challenge. So it came from Kanye. He was
Mhm.
talking through that challenge of his mouth
Mhm.
being wired shut,
Mhm.
but still performing it in a sense. But so we're giving people the space to share their story, or if they have a question, I'm going
Mhm.
through this. I need to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yep.
I need to get it
That's
out.
good.
We're not necessarily, like we're just giving you encouragement. We don't have the answers to everything
Mhm.
by any means, but like he was saying, as far as having community
Mhm.
and having people to encourage you, that we can definitely
Yeah,
do. So send them in. You can DM us. Then we have an email address that is the Made for More
You was looking at me. I was
podcast
like,
at gmail.com.
Lower thirds.
yeah.
Yes.
It's on the screen.
Just DM us.
It's
on
right there at the
screen.
bottom
yeah,
of your.
just DM us.
Call in
and
now.
Right.
Call
Thank
in
y'all
now.
for tuning in with us, man.
Love y'all.
We out of here.
We out of here. Peace.